Elijah versus the prophets of Baal, the showdown on Mount Carmel, a mountaintop, a divided nation, one prophet against hundreds. The people wavered between gods, but on this day, fire would fall from heaven and make the truth unmistakable. Ready for an explosive 15-minute cinematic-style narration? Let's dive in. Epic narration. Elijah and the prophets of Baal, the showdown on Mount Carmel. 1. A nation torn between gods. The land of Israel lay dry and cracked under a sky that had not given rain for 3 years. Dust choked the roads, crops withered in the fields. The once lush valleys had become wastelands. The famine was God's judgment, but the people didn't understand didn't want to. King Ahab ruled in compromise. His queen Jezebel, a foreigner, worshipped Baal, the storm god. Under her influence, altars to Yahweh were torn down, and hundreds of prophets of Baal and Asherah were fed at her table. The people had become silent, unsure, torn between two gods. Into this moment of confusion and apostasy walked one man, Elijah, prophet of the Most High, rugged, weather-worn, eyes like lightning, and words like thunder. 2. The summons to the mountain. Elijah appeared before Ahab without fear. "Gather all Israel," he said. "Bring the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah. Meet me on Mount Carmel. Today we will see who is God." The mountain loomed over the sea, its cliffs catching the early morning light. All Israel gathered, farmers, priests, soldiers, and families. Murmurs ran through the crowd as the false prophets in their regal robes gathered on one side and Elijah stood alone on the other. 3. The challenge declared. Elijah raised his voice over the crowd. "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." Silence. So Elijah proposed a test. 2 bulls, 2 altars, no fire. You call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord. The God who answers by fire, he is God. The people agreed. 4. The false prophets performed. The prophets of Baal went first. From morning till noon, they called on Baal. "O Baal, answer us," they cried. They danced around the altar, leaped, sang, shouted. But there was no voice, no fire. No one answered. At noon, Elijah couldn't help but mock. Shout louder. Perhaps he's deep in thought, or traveling, or sleeping. Their frenzy increased. They slashed themselves with swords. Blood ran down their bodies. The sun moved across the sky. But Baal was silent. 5. Elijah prepares the altar. Then Elijah called the people to him. Slowly, reverently, he rebuilt the altar of the Lord that had been torn down. He took 12 stones, one for each tribe of Israel, and laid the wood. The bull was placed on top. Then he did the unthinkable. Fill 4 large jars with water and pour it on the offering. They did. Do it again. They obeyed. Do it a 3rd time. The water soaked the sacrifice, drenched the wood, filled the trench. 6. The prayer and the fire. Elijah stepped forward. No leaping, no shouting, just a simple prayer. Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant. Answer me, Lord, so these people will know that you are God and are turning their hearts back again. Then fire fell. It descended like a lightning storm unleashed from heaven, consuming the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the water in the trench of On, the dust on the ground. The people fell on their faces. The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. 7. Justice and reign. Elijah commanded the false prophets to be seized. Justice was swift. Then Elijah climbed to the top of Carmel, knelt with his face between his knees, and prayed. He sent his servant to look toward the sea. Nothing came the first report. 6 times he looked. Still nothing. Then, the 7th time, a cloud, as small as a man's hand, rising from the sea. Elijah stood. Go tell Ahab, hitch your chariot and go before the rain stops you. The sky grew black with clouds. The wind rose. Thunder rumbled, and rain fell, breaking the drought. 8. The God who answers by fire and rain. This story is not just about fire, as about a faithful God reclaiming the hearts of his people. Fire consumed the offering. Rain quenched the parched land. But more than that, God showed he is still near, still active, still calling. 9. A word for today. Maybe your altar has been broken. Maybe your heart feels dry like Israel's land. Maybe you've been wavering between fears, idols, doubts. Rebuild the altar. Call on his name. He is still the God who answers by fire. And when the fire comes, so will the rain.